Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So I kept putting this video off and was actually considering skipping it because I've made recent videos about the sub-vision card system. I'll link to those below. But there was the unofficial 2nd anniversary livestream to which I was invited by Dr. Diggs to talk with Ready Player Will about the topic, but I tried to start a conversation and Dr. Diggs never got back to me, so I didn't make it to the livestream. I joined in the comments section of the stream a bit, but I couldn't get into too much detail, so that gives me a reason to make this video. I want to get the most important point out first. This will help the most people, I think. Stop trying to take advantage of every stat and every buff on vision cards. I saw this from very early on in Global War of the Visions, but regarding vision cards and team building, some of the things I heard most were, I have to use this vision card with this unit, or the developers are making me use this team with this vision card. To which I say, stand up for yourself. Don't let the developers dictate how to play the game or build your teams. And that's even more of a concern now with sub-vision cards, and I feel like a lot of folks are kind of paralyzed in trying to make a decision because there often isn't a perfect pick. Especially the global-only, unit-specific buffs, decisions to pull or build or use vision cards should not take those into account at all. I almost feel like they're doing a disservice to the global users. So that's why it's important to let go of the idea of the perfect build, embrace the idea of the good enough build. And one vision card that came up, which perfectly illustrates this point, is the Wind Water Tower vision card. I think a lot of people look at this card and come at it from a unit or team point of view and say it's one of the least versatile Wind vision cards because of the Tifa specific buffs and the evade and the strike damage up. The way that I look at vision cards, especially now, post-sub-vision cards, is I come at it from a buffs and stats point of view. Like, what are the really desirable buffs and stats, and then are they good enough to justify sacrificing some other parts of the vision card? But like the Water Tower, it has stats like Dexterity 40 and Agility up. What units like that? All of them. The bestowed effect is Attack up. What units like that? Most of them. And then the party ability is Single Target Resistance up. What units like that? All of them. And so when I look at this card, I actually think it's one of the most versatile Wind Vision cards, and I will definitely get and max this when it returns. I would even recommend this card to folks with strong Wind accounts without Tifa or 2B. That's how good I think this card is. Is it going to be perfect for my account? No, but is it good enough? You bet. Alright, so that was a specific example to illustrate a point. Now let's take a bird's eye view. What are the winners of the addition of the sub-vision card system? It's these guys here. First are universal buff vision cards and lower rarity vision cards, and this is just because there are more slots. I remember when sub-vision cards were announced, people were like, oh great, now I need to pull and build 6 elemental vision cards, times 8 for all of the elements to make PvP teams. It's a cash grab. And I was like, do you not have universal buff vision cards and lower rarity vision cards built? What have you been doing all this time? But yeah, this system puts a new lease on life of the older vision cards, which always were good investments anyways, especially for new players. Another winner is Evade. With the addition of sub-vision cards and Trust Stones, Evade really jumped up in strength level in JP, and kind of dominated in a way it never had before in JP. Like, suddenly it's very possible to build units that are 100% evasive against characters not specifically built for accuracy, and it affects especially auto battle in surprising ways. I've shown in numerous videos that if my team's evade is too high, it's kind of like a poor man's stop, like it prevents opposing units from even acting if they just have 0% hit chance. In manual play, maybe they would move the unit or use a TP skill, but a lot of times in auto battle, the unit will just pass the turn, which is a great advantage for me. Next are vision abilities. These are much easier to access now because of the extra slots, especially since we can get the full effect, even from the sub slot. I said in the livestream, but I'm guessing they stopped giving vision abilities to vision cards because they were just too good. Too versatile, too powerful. I don't know why they allowed sub-job units to also be able to use the vision abilities. But yeah, these are definitely worth another look. Another minor winner is a gained AP up. With the flexibility of more slots, we can more easily consider gained AP up, and even as a sub-vision card, it gets close to the main slot buff, so it's very attractive, and it might even be good enough that you could stop using bells in certain situations. Next is defense, and this is low-key maybe the biggest effect sub-vision cards are going to have on the overall landscape of the meta. And Ready Player Will, being the smart guy that he is, picking up on this. That is just greater defense, better survivability all around. More flexibility to buff your HP and like magic resistance, but what I have my eye on is combining single target resistance with AoE resistance. Put those two together from UR vision cards especially, and you have 20% cut in damage across the board. All attacks, even Drain Force. Damage mitigation is always a super powerful and super underrated mechanic in every video game, and if it gets out of hand, it can actually ruin games. I've seen it happen. But like now, when I consider vision cards, there are certain party buffs that instantly make me want them, like agility or element attack up, but single target resistance and AoE resistance are also at the top there. I deeply regret skipping Death Machine, like, 3 times now? And I swear I will get it next time. But like when one of those skills appears in an element I'm working on, it almost doesn't matter what else the card has, I want it. And like these are all of the existing pairs within elements. And yeah, I want that Tifa card, and I will go out of my way to use those 2 cards as main vision cards. That's how good I think these buffs are. I saw the Sadari card that came out recently in JP. It had both the resistance and agility as party buffs, and I was like, dang, I don't care what else it has, I want it. And there's still no penetration for these resistances, so that makes them even stronger. There are breaks, but they are still very rare. Okay, and then the last winner, which makes me the most happy, is overall game balance. There were a lot of changes with the addition of sub-vision cards, but the game balance, like, it doesn't flip, power creep doesn't really speed up. Evade got a big boost, but it is also still very counterable with accuracy builds or 100% hit attacks. And then with the boost to defense, just overall, it actually slows the game down. It makes one-punching less common, it makes more units and teams viable, and so slows down power creep, it expands game balance. This is a really, really good update, just overall for the game. And finally, I want to talk about something which kind of only long-term or whale players are going to really think about, but that is how to approach building a mono-element team when you have a bunch of element-specific vision card options. I think the most interesting way to approach this is to cover weaknesses of units. Generally, when I think about equipping stuff in any video game, I want to stress strengths rather than cover weaknesses. But if a certain element is just so built up in War of the Visions on my account that, like, no matter what I do, I'm going to stress those strengths, I might as well arrange things so I can also cover weaknesses at the same time. Like, Dark is my strongest element in my JP account, both in terms of units and vision cards, and so like if I have Super Stern on my team, one super important thing in building him is accuracy. If he does not connect, like, I lose right there, so I can look at all my Dark vision cards and pick both the main and sub to buff his accuracy. For the main, I can use this Persona vision card, and for the sub, I can use the Helena vision card, and I'm sure I exploded some heads there. People are probably going like, it's a magic card, it's for magic users, and he can't use the vision ability. For one thing, it's a sub-vision card, so the stats matter less, and for another, in certain situations that extra accuracy will matter enough that it's worth using the vision card where I can't take advantage of every single part of the card. We just have to let go a little bit. Or like if for Arena or PvE I'm doing a light hunting dark party and I need Super Stern to be able to take a hit, since he has the elemental weakness there, I can do like main Diablos and then sub Cherry Blossoms. And so building first from covering individual weaknesses, I'm still getting nice party buffs on everyone in the end. If I were not keeping that in mind, I might have ended up using the same cards anyway, but like in a different arrangement on my party. But by keeping weaknesses kind of forefront in my mind, I can address that at the same time. And that is how I'm thinking about mono-element team building these days. Alright, those are my thoughts on sub-vision cards. If you want me to join your thing, send someone that will follow up. I don't appreciate being strung along. If you're just asking me to be polite or to say that you asked me, then just don't. Let's not waste each other's time. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.